What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video on my sports Gematria. In this video, we're going to do some after-the-fact math. We're going to be talking about the show Last of Us and the coincidence it has with the Super Bowl and the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be my third video on the topic, The Last of Us. It's my all-time favorite show. It's my all-time favorite video game first. But the show, I've watched all 5 episodes so far, and I'm excited to see the rest of it. I think it's been a heck of a show so far. And yeah, there's an interesting connections that's been going on with this show. And this one in particular, I'll be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. And I did a little write-up on it yesterday on my Patreon, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you guys and see what you guys think. See if it's entertaining to you. See if you find it interesting or intriguing. I find it interesting, but it's mostly because it's dealing with 2 topics I already talk about that I already enjoy and talk about, which is one, The Last of Us. I already enjoy that, and sports. And I do sports on a daily basis. So let me bring up a bigger screen for you guys. That way you can kind of see it a little bit better, okay? All right, so after the fact math. The Last of Us and Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I have made a few posts about my favorite video game of all time. Recently now, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, The Last of Us, which has been dropping a new episode every Sunday on HBO since mid-January. How this relates to Kansas City is that in episodes 4 and 5 of the TV show, episode 5 being released this past Friday ahead of Super Bowl Sunday, the main characters have been in Kansas City, or trying to escape Kansas City, rather. The timing of this is interesting to me because in the video game, we never go to Kansas City. And the storyline that plays out in episodes 4 and 5 in the TV show actually takes place in Pittsburgh within the video game. So they intentionally changed the location of the storyline for the TV show. Here's the image of Kansas City here in the TV show. Episode 5 was supposed to be aired on Super Bowl Sunday, but they decided to move its release to the Friday before to not compete with the Super Bowl itself in ratings. Episode 4 was the main character's arrival in Kansas City, and Episode 5 was their escape from Kansas City. Episode 4 was released on the same day as the Pro Bowl. In these 2 episodes, the main characters come across another duo that helps them make their escape from the city in the TV show and in the video game. The game being originally in Pittsburgh, like I said, but was changed to Kansas City for the show in particular. And their names, the characters that they come across, are Henry and Sam. The words Henry and Sam equals 122, just like the words Kansas City sums to 122. And Super Bowl Sunday was the 12th of February, written 12/2 or 2/12, where Kansas City Chiefs became 20-21 for a playoff record as a team all time by winning the Super Bowl. Henry and Sam were brothers, and we did have 2 brothers face each other in the Super Bowl, the Kelsey brothers. Henry and Sam were also African American. And then you can also say both quarterbacks for the Super Bowl were African American. The words "The Last of Us" written out sums to 151. And this TV show premiered on 15th of January. That's when episode 1 dropped. It was on the 15th of January, written 15/1. The Last of Us 151 TV show premiered on January 15th, 15/1. And the Super Bowl featured the number 15 quarterback versus the number 1 quarterback, like 151. The words "The Last of Us" sums to 146 as well. Again, this game was originally released on June 14th in 2013, which is 6/14 or 14/6. And the losing team of the Super Bowl ended their season 16-4 for a season record. 146, 164, just anagrams of each other. The words "The Last of Us" equals 38 in one of the 4 base ciphers too. Here, I'll just show you guys. So since I'm saying this over and over, The Last of Us 146, 38, 151, and 61. But I mainly just talk about these 3 numbers. 151, the 15 quarterback versus the 1 quarterback. The show is released on January 15th. Then you got the 38, which I'm getting ready to talk about, and then the 146. The video game was originally released on June 14th, 14/6 or 6/14 in 2013. And the losing team of the Super Bowl became 16-4 for a season record. Now, the words "The Last of Us" equals 38 in one of the 4 base ciphers too. And the Super Bowl was played on a day leaving 38 days left in the Hebrew religious year, where the Eagles ended their 3-game winning streak as Chiefs picked up their 8th win in a row for the season, kind of like 38. And Chiefs coach's 38th postseason game for his career. This is both Eagles coach and quarterback's 38th game for their career all time. And the quarterback for the Eagles is Jalen Hurts, which sums to 38. And then, of course, we know that the Chiefs beat the Eagles with a total of 38 points. I'm using an ancient Hebrew Jewish practice called Gematria. And I just mentioned the Hebrew Jewish calendar leaving 38 days left for the Super Bowl and the connections that went with it. Now, the main writer-creator for The Last of Us video game and TV show, co-creator overall, is a Jewish man by the name Neil Druckmann. His name sums to 212. Again, Henry and Sam, 122. Kansas City, 122. The Super Bowl was played on 12/2 or 2/12, however you want to look at it, where Kansas City Chiefs became 2021 for a record. Neil Druckmann for a record postseason all time. Neil Druckmann is also co-owner of the video game development company called Naughty Dog, which sums to 122. Neil Druckmann was born on December 5th, written 12/5 or 5/12. And the Super Bowl Sunday was on the 21st day of the 5th month for the Hebrew civil side of the calendar, written 215. A day leaving 215 left in the Hebrew civil year. 215, 125, 512. They're just all anagrams of each other. And the star quarterback of the Chiefs, MVP, who won it all, his name is Patrick Mahomes, which equals 152. Another anagram for 215, 125, 512. Patrick Mahomes, 152. All just anagrams of each other. This is the third time I'm making a post about The Last of Us this year. The first one was about the initial release date, but the second time was surrounding a coincidental event and the timing of it, excuse me. Just as odd as the Kansas City episodes in relation to the timing of Kansas City winning the Super Bowl. Annie Wershing, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I doubt it, though. I always get names wrong. The voice actress for the character Tess in the video game portion passed away exactly 1 week after the character Tess in the TV show died in episode 2. See my video about it I made on YouTube. You can go to my playlist on my YouTube channel, go to my movie and TV show Gematria playlist, and I have my first video here where I talk about the initial release date and the numbers that align with that. And then I also have this one down here talking about the actress that passed away, the voice actress for the game that passed away. And it was coincidental because you have season 2 premiered where, spoiler alert, where Tess dies. And then exactly 1 week later, on the premiere of episode 3, we have the voice actress of Tess in the video game passing away. Now, there have been some strange things happening around this TV show, The Last of Us, and I will continue to talk about it if more come our way for the rest of the episodes being released. I'll be watching each episode anyway because it's my favorite video game since 2013. So, of course, I'm going to continue to watch it. And the show has been really good in and of itself, too. Very competitive with the game storyline. on how good it is. But one last thing here, Neil Druckmann. Neil Druckmann sums to 77 as well. And we are currently in the middle of the 77th NBA season. And I have already talked about the number 77 with two specific players, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and their blockbuster trades on the season. So who knows, there might be more to come with coincidences between events outside of The Last of Us and The Last of Us lining up. And I talk about those guys. I made videos on both of those guys. If it'll load. Right here, my last video was about Kevin Durant, 77th NBA season, the blockbuster trade. And then, of course, here's the 77th NBA season. Gives number 77 Lucas some help with the Kyrie Irving trade. And Neil Druckmann sums to 77. This is currently the 77th NBA season where both those trades took place. We already saw that. I already showed you that Neil Druckmann, his name, sums to 212 as well, which was the date of the Super Bowl this year. Henry and Sam 122, Kansas City 122. Episodes 4 and 5 took place right around the Super Bowl, where they're in Kansas City trying to escape as Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Naughty Dog sums to 122. Neil Druckmann born on 12/5. Quarterback to win the Super Bowl was Patrick Mahomes, 152, 125, 152 anagrams of each other. It being the 21st day of the 5th month on the Hebrew civil calendar for the Super Bowl. So very interesting connections. I definitely didn't expect this. I was just happy to get a TV show, The Last of Us. I didn't expect me actually pulling numbers for the TV show, honestly. Not like this anyway, but yeah, interesting stuff. What do you guys think? Entertaining. Don't get offended by any of this. It's just numbers. But yeah, I found it fascinating. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.